began in 1980 when the first location was opened up by Bill and May Tudor. They're the founders, thus you have the name Tudor's Biscuit World, right?
If you're from West Virginia, or if you've been to West Virginia, I know that you know about Tudor's Biscuit World. And if you don't, you're going to want to stick around.
West Virginians are known for their traditions, our music, our love for the outdoors, and of course, our passion for food. I'm Hillary Kimmer, and I'm taking you on a culinary adventure across the state, introducing you to the people who continue those traditions that make our state almost heaven.
A lot of these biscuits, and like this spread, come on, seriously, look at this. They have unique names. And this might actually be a good opportunity for us to like taste test.
Yeah.
So maybe if you want to pick out a biscuit, and then you can talk to me about what it is, why it was named, what it was named, kind of just how that got started.
Sure, I would love to. Let's start with this one because he's so hot, he's melting off the top.
Yes.
So this is our Thundering Herd.
Okay.
And so yes, all of our biscuits have names that are special and unique to them. The way that this particular biscuit got its name is because if you know anything about West Virginia at all, you know that the Thundering Herd is a prominent sports team here in West Virginia. So another example of a biscuit getting its name that way would be our Mountaineer. Of course, those are the Herd and the Mountaineer are probably the two most prominent for that.
Right.
We also have a Golden Eagle, which is named after our local sporting team, and then the Rocket actually was also named after a sporting team. It was an old football team, professional football team here in Charleston, I believe. So yeah.
And I know a lot of them have names like the Ron, the Mary B. What's the catch on those? How did that happen?
So those are actually my favorite stories to tell. So back whenever the first location opened on East Washington Street, it was a super small location. I mean, it had like 2 booths. The kitchen was super, super tiny. No drive-through, nothing like the Tudors we know today.
Right.
That location, like I had mentioned too, was very popular with State House employees. So they would come pretty frequent to get their breakfast sandwiches on their way to work. Well, when you see the same face over and over again, you are most likely going to learn to know them by a first name. So all of the employees became, acquainted with the customers coming in. And so instead of them saying, hey, let me get a sausage, egg, and cheese biscuit, whenever Ron came in for his sausage, egg, and cheese biscuit, they said, give me a Ron. The Tootie and the Dottie got their name the same exact way, so that's sort of how we've named those. And then the other biscuits all got their names from like various promotions or just the products that were on them. So
I am so jealous.
Yeah.
Honestly, I can't think of anything cooler than having a biscuit named after you. How much do you want to bet? Anyone who's ever been to West Virginia, chances are they've had Tudors. That's like the association.
Oh, yeah.
Everyone recognizes
Absolutely.
it. But let's say you go to Vermont wearing your Tudor's Biscuit World shirt. How cool would it be for like someone to see that, recognize it, and have that like camaraderie that you have just because of a restaurant?
Oh, absolutely.
That got started in a tiny hole in the wall in 1980. Like,
yeah.
It's just,
it happens all the time too. It's so funny because when I'm looking at our socials and things like that, not long ago, the best example I have is I believe he was an Australian podcaster. I apologize, I don't know his name.
Yes.
He's an Australian podcaster and he was in New York and he did a podcast or a video and there was a picture that someone tweeted and it was him with his Tudor's Biscuit World hat on, and it was amazing. And they're like, the tweet read, it was one of his fans that tweeted it that we happened to see, and it was like, the tweet read something along the lines of, never imagined my favorite podcaster from Australia filming a podcast in New York would have a Tudor's Biscuit World hat on. So, I mean, it's wild to see the people that actually come through here and know what Tudor's is. We've tried quite a few things so far.
Yes.
I know prior to this, you were a big tater fan.
yes, I say
right?
that. I say
yes.
that on purpose.
Yes.
And I'm going to tell a secret on myself, but I have had 2 kids. I have a 4-year-old and I have a 5-month-old. And during both pregnancies, I craved big taters. And I'm not talking like moderate crave. I'm talking like needed to survive solely.
Would die without.
Would die without big taters. So that is my favorite. We haven't tried it yet, but
You want to go and try it?
yes,
Let's grab it.
absolutely.
So I can reach up and grab it.
It's so beautiful.
It is.
I'm going to share a pro tip. I'm going to share Tudor's pro tip
Yes.
with you guys. So like I mentioned earlier, I'm an equal opportunity bacon and sausage person. I love them both. When you go through or when you come in to order, you can ask for bacon and sausage on your Big Tater. You can also do cheese or gravy. I'm a cheese person, but you gravy people go wild. But if you do bacon and sausage and cheese on a Big Tater, you will never be the same. You just won't. No, you won't. And I do want to say thank you. In true Tudor's fashion, you guys welcomed us in.
Of course.
And like I said, you step foot in the door, you feel like you're at home. We hope that everyone who watches this has a similar sentiment, and hopefully I inspire a lot of cravings. That's the goal. I hope when people watch this, they crave what we talk about. So I hope everyone makes a beeline to Tudor's to get all of this awesome food. Great people, amazing food. It was just great. We appreciate you guys so much.
You're always welcome at our table, so come back anytime.
Absolutely.
We'll have you. We love it. So
thank you.
Stay tuned for more Crave West Virginia. Next time, we take you to the Memorial Tunnel, where a local farmer is growing something pretty spectacular.